God wants you to prosper, not somebody else, not someone down the street, but he wants you to prosper. He promises to be our exceeding great reward. God has a great plan for you. 3 John, verse 2. It says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers." Well, hello, I'm Dr. Chonta Haynes, and this time I'm again in the hot seat with Katina Horton. Ooh, pouring this child some serious tea. It's getting strong now, and we're going to really talk about a lot of things that will come up in general conversation with a girlfriend. You know, sister to sister, we need to really have some conversations that are going to amount to transformation. It's not about just disseminating information. We want to be changed. We want to be the treasured women that we are. And we have to recognize that sometimes our past, sometimes our future, sometimes our right in the middle is what's messing up with our head and our heart. So come on in, listen to part 3 or 4. And if you missed 1 or 2 or even any of it, you want to jump in on this. And I will say, if you are blessed by this, go ahead and share it with someone and make sure you subscribe. Why? Because you don't want to miss another episode. Hey, and if this is your first time here, go back and check out some of the other episodes. I had an opportunity to just have some time with some great people. I want to make sure I introduce you to the right ones. Because you know what? In this life, we need to surround ourselves with those that are going to get us to that next level. All right, go ahead, take a listen, and I'll see you on the other side.
To have a plan that you are, like you said, you're not able to execute, that can really be a mess, you know?
Yeah.
That is so true. So I got a question for you. Why do you think as with Black women as a whole, that we can tend to stay in unhealthy relationships for so long?
Ooh, girl, you know, that's a apple we didn't want to eat from the beginning, okay? It is, we stay because we've been told that in the community, in our community, especially if we want to be married to someone that looks like us, same ethnicity, that there are fewer men that are out there that are legit. Okay. So if I've got one, I'm going to hold on to this one. Some even say I'm going to share him because I'd rather hold on to this one than to have none. And that's true. Think that we can't handle it on our own. That's one. Yes. The other side of it is we stay in it because when we look out, the men of old were very reputable. They stood up for their rights. They carried themselves in a different manner than those that are doing it today. And you didn't have them wanting to come sleep on your couch and have you take care of them and do all of that.
Cook and everything.
Exactly. Like they're looking for a mother. They're looking for somebody to, take care. We ain't got time for that. We're too old for that.
There you go. Ain't nobody got time for that mess.
Okay. You look at us as women or our younger counterparts. They're displaying themselves as if they are not worthy, that they have to degrade themselves or show more and do more and be out there. So what are the guys thinking? Oh, I can get anybody on the street. So somebody then who is trying to be a person of integrity, who is trying to excel in what they're doing, that have a game plan and they got, something that they're looking forward to. They don't want to have anything to do with her unless they're going to ride her coattails. And so you're in this quagmire where you're like, I can't find a good one. I don't want to be by myself. So I'm caught in the middle to say, I'm going to stay with this. And maybe, just maybe, he's going to turn this thing around.
Yep. Wishful thinking, isn't it?
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And in
Yep,
our
that
community,
wishful thinking.
here's my heart. I really hope that our young women value themselves more than some of the products that they buy. They will put a protective cover on it. They will
Yeah.
get a nice purse and put it in or something like that. But we
Mm-hmm.
don't even cover ourselves to say, I am valuable. I am a gem. I'm not just going to give it away. Because
Right.
as mom used to say, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free?
That is exactly what they would say. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and so you're displaying, there's no imagination. You're giving it away. And people
Mm-hmm.
are taking it and they're
Right.
using you. And so
Right.
my encouragement for our young women is value who you are. Recognize that you are the treasure, you are the jewel, and don't just let anybody come take over and act as if you're not that valuable. Learn to have
Mm-hmm.
confidence in yourself and live life on your terms. Recognize what you bring to the table. Now, if you're
Amen.
not bringing anything to the table, go back to the table and figure it out so that you
Okay,
can
why
bring something
you
to the
not able
table.
to, right.
You
Right,
know,
like you said, go back to that table. That, Lord, what is going on with me that I
exactly.
can't get this figured out? Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So we got to value ourselves. I
Mm-hmm.
had one client that was in a narcissistic relationship, and you see a lot of that today,
Yes.
where they're very one-sided, very demanding. And some women are afraid to leave because they've been told, they've been demoralized inside the home. They've been
Mm-hmm.
verbally abused, they've been emotionally abused, and some even sexually abused, that they don't
Mm-hmm.
think that they can leave. And they're staying there sometimes for their kids because
Right.
they think their kids are going to be harmed. So
Right.
there's no cookie cutter, program that you can do because that is hard.
Right.
Sometimes that spouse is text messaging constantly. Oh, you're seeing this person. Oh, you're doing that. And they're threatening. And it's a lot of abuse that is out there. So
Right.
some of us in our community, because back in the day, and see, we're going to flip it again. Back in
Right.
the day, you didn't air your dirty laundry. You weren't authentic.
Yes.
You didn't
Right.
tell people what you were going through because we going to keep this, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, what happens in your house stayed in your house. So you had
True.
incest, you had all of that other stuff
All
that
of
was
that.
happening, and you didn't let somebody know, so you couldn't get help.
That's true.
That's one of the beauties of today. The young people today are like, no, we're going to be authentic. We're going to tell you our story. Now, they might tell us way too much. It's true
That's true.
TMI. But they're trying to get healed.
They are. They are. That's the bottom line. They trying to get healed. They've realized that keeping this whole thing inside, it's just not, it's not working for them. You know how Dr. Phil say, how's that working for you? It's not. That's why they're
Exactly.
opening up. Because you think about it, even though that's the way it was back in the day, but that's also why, even when you think about among our race, I'm saying people in general, but among our race, it's like, that's why you got all these illnesses because nobody talked about anything.
Yes.
But it's all, it's all going to the body.
Yes,
That
it is.
mind,
All of
body,
that
soul connection.
disease creates the disease. You're absolutely
Mm-hmm.
right. High blood pressure, hypertension, you name it. We carried it because it
Right.
was on the inside. You got to get that spiritual foundation. You got to get that
Mm-hmm.
emotional level. You got to get your rest. You got to eat right. You got
Right.
to exercise. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't take care of yourself, who is going to take care of you?
True.
And
Right.
we can talk about wealth all day long, but if you don't have health, you're going to end up taking that wealth to pay for that health, and then you'll end up broke, busted, and disgusted all over again. So you
That is
have
so
to.
much the truth. I'm telling you, because some people they've been like, when I was going through, with, during my divorce and even after when I got really, really sick with my thyroid and my immune system crashed and all of that. And it's like, well, just go out and go get another job. And it reached the peak level was reached when I did go get a job. And that whole, I kid you not, just to show you how the devil worked, that whole company the company I went to, the entire company, almost, I would say, with the exception of probably maybe 6 people, everybody in there was toxic. And the whole process from start to finish mimicked the marriage I had just come out of. So then I got like really sick halfway working through that. I was there like 9.5 months. So halfway during that time, I got really sick. And you're trying to hold on. And I really should have left before it got worse, but I didn't. Okay. Ended up being let go, which was literally God's grace. But trying to recover from that. And people are like, well, you just go on out and just get you another job, just do this and that. Just like, well, if I don't have my health, how am I going to work? I need to take care of myself and get myself back in order.
Exactly.
I'm gonna have to live off support money for right now, but what, to leave from there in that condition and then go straight to another job, like you said, though, that's not how it works. We don't have our health. We don't have anything. I don't care how much another job is paying. You got to know when it's time to get that self-care thing going down and really be able to take care of ourselves before we can move forward.
God says that those that labor and are heavy laden, he gives us rest.
Mm-hmm.
That rest is so important. And like you said, you have to pay attention to your health. Stresses cause some of the disease. A lot of the cancers that we have today are stress related.
Yeah.
And we might be genetically predisposed to it, but our choices in life allow it to come through. I think someone said the other day, this is, the genetics holds the key, but our lifestyle pulls the trigger. We have to recognize that we can control some of the things. And
yes,
we have to do that. I understand what you're saying. I lost my job because I decided, hey, I recognized that there was an imbalance with what I was doing and all of what I was doing at the church and with the home, and I said, okay, well, let me back off here. And they were like, well, then you're not working here. I'm like, whoa. So, with no
that
job,
was just the end of that, huh?
Yeah. And I'm like, I said earlier, Lord, I feel like I'm flying in the air, even without an airplane. I don't know what your plan is for me. And I got to that point. We have to truly depend on God's grace and his direction. I say that if there is frustration in what you're trying to do, that's your human effort trying to make something happen. It's like you're pulling at the door, but you got your foot on the door too, and you're like, yank it. It doesn't work. But God's grace is his supernatural ability that can do with ease what no amount of human effort can. And sometimes we have to step back and say, well, wait a minute, Lord, what direction are you taking me in? Maybe me trying to find a place in this particular location is not where you want me to be. So show me the path that I need to be on. Show me whether I need to get the rest, because if my health is not working, you're trying to tell me that I'm forcing something that is not working. And I have to then step back from that. A smart person steps back from that and says, well, wait a minute, I need to take a reset. Lord, show me. Because apparently I'm missing something. And the beauty of having that spiritual foundation, and in our culture, we lean on it saying it's our foundation, but a lot of us are on the peripheral. We don't have that real and personal relationship. But that foundation is what got us through all of the struggles that we have been through before. We have some resilient people.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Okay. But they depended on the Lord. Go back to the direction. Go back to understanding, having a relationship. Sweet tea and Jesus is what we really need, right? Like, look, I need to have a conversation with you. Just a little talk. We're going to make it all right. If he already sees the end before the beginning, then while I'm in the middle and the clouds are hanging low and I have no clue, I have to trust that he has my best interest at heart and it's going to all work out in the end. If it's not good, then he's not done. So I'm just going to lean and depend on him that he is working it out for my good. We quote it, but do we live it? And
do we
that's
live?
what we have to do. We have to step back
Amen.
and say, you know what? I'm trusting in the Lord with all of my heart. I'm leaning not to my own understanding. I'm going to acknowledge him in all of his ways and all the things that he's doing in my life, and he's going to direct my path. That's where I need to get to.
Amen. Because like you said, we can get to the point of being so frustrated, and it's like, once you know you've done the best thing that you can possibly humanly do, we got to release that thing to God, or we just gonna be, you're just gonna keep spinning your wheels,
Amen.
And he's just like, just give it to me.
Right.
Give it to me. Because
That's
you
why
and
I
your
love,
power, you're not going too far in it.
yes, that's why I love the title that you have, the Valley of Grace. When we lean into grace, oh, things are so much easier.
Yeah, if we would just lean in. I always tell people, like with the clients and when I speak, we got to have a be still and know moment. We got to stop running, stop trying to fix it, stop trying to control, and just be still and see what it is that God has for us. You know what I'm saying?
And girl, you preach it. Because see, I'm going to tell you, I would say that too. That's another reason why we as women in our community, we keep holding on because we think we can fix it. I used to tell my children all the time, and I still kind of stand behind it, but I said, my mom can fix almost anything because as an engineer, we're problem solvers. I can fix it. But what we do as women in our community is we got our super mom cape on, superwoman cape on. We need to learn to take that bad boy to the cleaners and leave it and say, I'm not picking this up
leave it there, I'm a black superwoman.
Exactly.
We think we energize the bunnies or something.
Keep it moving. Like, oh, we gonna make this work, because that's what we saw. We saw hard work from our ancestors, and we saw their struggle, and we think that we're supposed to struggle. Now, everybody does have some struggle in life, but we don't have to struggle as much as we do. We take on a lot more than I believe we have to. And then it causes us that health concern. It causes us financial distress. It causes us to miss out on the beauty, for the ashes. Turn over the ashes and say, Lord, I'm looking for my beauty. Come on, bring it. You said joy's coming in the morning. I'm getting ready to go to sleep and I'm going to wake up in the morning. That's what I want. And so when we lean into him and into the things that he has for us, it makes it a lot easier. Now, I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying that it's perfect, because it still was not, even for me, in going through that. I tell people, I know how money works and I should easily be able to do this, but there is still some anxiety when you say, I'm taking on this big bill. Okay, it's coming. But then we also have that poverty mindset that we more than likely grew up with, that we have to get rid of. That scarcity mindset that we hold on. We can do some of those things, but not to the extent where it's costing you more energy and effort and it's not materializing to much. So we kind of got to get some of those things out of the way too. But we as Black women, we always say, I don't look like what I've been through. Don't look like what you've been through. Let the light on the inside of you shine through, but then turn around and help somebody else.
Thank you. There you go. That's what you do. Not like I'm going to compete with you, but I can help a sister out.
Exactly.
Right.
But there's a few of us that are out here in this community saying, hey, let me give you a hand up. Let me help you. And my prayer is that more of us will get on that same page and realize that nobody's competing with you. You don't have to be insecure when it comes to me. I'm really not trying to, douse your parade. I can tell you, hey, sis, you look good today. I'm glad, you stepping in that. You looking beautiful, and I started calling, like most of the women, like I just say, hello, beautiful, because we don't hear it. We don't hear it enough. That we are beautiful. We don't hear that we're enough, that we're, fine in just the way we show up, and that's unfortunate. And so sometimes we then have to take the reins when you see that there's a hole or that there's a void. you take the reins and say, you know what, I'm going to feel that. Let me just tell you, you look good today.
Right.
Because you never know what your encouraging words are going to do for somebody. It
Oh, my
might be
word.
the very
Yes.
thing
Yes.
that
Yes.
stops them from committing suicide. It could be, like I say, the knockout punch to whatever bullying is going on. It could
Yes.
be that energy, that empowerment for that woman to say, you know what? I'm worth more than this. I'm leaving this right now.
There you go. There you go. I'm worth more than this, you know? Yep. Jesus didn't die for me to be sitting in dealing with this thing. You know, I'm part of royalty. Yes. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, I
So now
said
when you
Jesus
think of,
didn't die
oh,
for
go
me
ahead.
to
I'm sorry.
financially struggle. That's
Thank
mine.
you. There
He
you
did
go.
not. He
Yes.
said
He wants us.
abundant life and eternal
Yes.
life.
Amen. Like you said, in that abundant life for all areas. Yes.
Exactly.
So now if you think in your head of your own personal definition for empowered new chapter of life for women, do you think it's the same definition for Black women? And if so, why or why not?
From a woman's perspective, I think it would be the same.
Mm-hmm.
Only because we as women, in our nurturing, in our wanting to do for everybody else, we forget who we are based on whose we are.
True.
And so if we get to that point, then we as women have a suffrage that we connect with regardless of race.
True.
Okay.
Yep.
We as Black women tend to bring into it what we just talked about, that insecurity, that competition, which that crab mentality that doesn't help. So we as Black women not only need to be empowered because we're connected to our Creator and know whose we are and what He has gifted us with, but we have to then let go of some of those insecurities, all those insecurities, let go of that competition and recognize that me adjusting your crown is not taking the crown off my head. I am just helping you straighten out yours.
Yes.
And I can walk just as high with my head held high doing that as I could do if I'm a critic instead of a commenter. You know,
True. Yep.
We got trolls these days. We got enough trolls. Let's not be a part of that program.
Yes. Yes. Oh, my word. Yes. Now, do you feel that the Black community plays a role in healing from our past hurts? And if so, did they play a role in you healing?
I think they can.
Okay.
I think that we can do a better job. I do have a community of Black women because I'm a part of a sorority. And in that, I have people within it that did support me, that I knew I could always come to. Community is extremely important. And a lot of times we don't take that into account. We think we can do it on our own. And we can't. You need a support base. Now, sometimes all you get is crickets from them because they're not helpful. That's why I said they can. So
yes,
you have
I see
to
what you're
find
saying.
again,
You say you stress the can.
yeah, you have to find the right people. But oftentimes we're not connected with the right people, but we can seek them out. I think that the Black community can help quite a bit in general for all of our people if we start looking to help others excel, not trying to bring them down. Oh, you're getting ahead of me, so I don't want you to do better than me. Back in the day, we would have a saying that the parents wanted their children to do better than they did. Yes. What happened to that level of excellence?
Right.
You know, that's where we should be. Hey, let me help you. If we start a community of helpers, I think we'll see our young people majorly excel in what they're doing, and just basically they can take over the world.
Yes.
Have a purpose, have a cause behind it, but yes, excel. I just see I see that there is not only a need for it, but I see that we can do it. I believe in our people. And you know, I want them to know that I do truly believe in it. But I am truly disheartened by
Mhm.
a lot of what we do see, unfortunately. Thank you so much. Again, I'm Dr. Chonta Haynes with Heart Truth Ministries. It truly has been my pleasure. Continue to put feet to your faith and walk victoriously. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Hi, thanks for listening and watching. And if you enjoyed what you've seen, make sure you subscribe, like, and share, and hit that notification button so you'll know the next time there's a new episode. Listen, as a result of my coaching program, my clients have experienced a calming of the emotional roller coaster. They have a compelling future, as well as a confidence in the know-how to achieve it. And they have clarity on the financial tools that they need in order to live life on their terms and save tens of thousands of dollars. I'm looking for women who are devastated by the double D's, divorce or death, who want to gain confidence to live life on their terms with peace and financial security. My question is, who do you know? Have them go ahead and book a call with me so that we can get to that compelling future. My heart may be broke, but your bank account doesn't have to be. You can find us online at h2truth.org. At Heart Truth Ministries, we're helping believers live an abundant life based on God's Word, standing on His promises, walking out His principles, sharing with God's people, serving as unto the Lord.